Hey, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon, good evening. Hold on, let me do something real quick. So, my name is April. I'm with astrolada.com, and I am doing a weekly horoscope for October 19th through October 26th. I actually have to correct this on here. but Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back and correct it, actually, you guys. So, I'm just going to come on here really briefly to talk about mostly the full moon in Taurus. I'm, just popping on here really quick, and this is not going to be as long as of a broadcast as it usually is. But I'm still happy to see you guys. So, October 19th to the 26th of 2018, that's like the biggest thing that is going on is we have a full moon in Taurus, and it's in a conjunction with Uranus. Okay. We have the sun moving into Scorpio. So Scorpio season begins on the 23rd of November. And right away, the sun will oppose Uranus. And Uranus is like a wild card. Uranus's energy is very unexpected, a little kooky. So it may bring some of that out of us. It may bring some weird and unexpected things. It may bring some technological mishaps or something to do with maybe not communication because it's the sun, but it'll just bring out like a different side to us to where we want to do things that are out of the ordinary. Just try something a little different. We want a little bit more excitement in our world. So that's right away on the 23rd. And then on the 24th, that's the full moon in Taurus. Okay, so that's what I'm going to cover just very briefly for all the signs and let you guys know what it is, what it is for everybody. So as you know, a full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposing each other. And there's lots of tense energy. And then there's a breaking point. Usually it's like the full moon, it gets to a peak. It gets to a peak, right? So that's like the date and the time of the full moon that we get is that peak. And then the energy is so strong. And then there's something that goes on that's like, okay, something has to give. Something has to change. Bam. Then there's some kind of an influence, some kind of an event, some kind of a realization or something that we come to that's like, you know what? This is what we got to do. Okay, this is the solution. This is what's going to go on going forward. And then the tension dies down. So that's a full moon. Now we have in the mix of this full moon in Taurus, we have moon in Taurus, sun in Scorpio. We have the moon is conjunct Uranus by 1 degree. Okay, so there is something, even though Taurus energy in itself is all about planning things out and doing things in a very practical way and slowly but surely and being cautious and comfortable first before you make a move, Uranus is not about that. So that's the energy that can be enclosed within this full moon. It's like frantic, something, like has to give, like right now, something unexpected, surprises. Taurus energy in itself doesn't really care for surprises, but Uranus doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio doesn't like surprises either, but Uranus doesn't care. So wherever these two signs are at in your chart is where you can have something unexpected come up, but it can be something liberating. Uranus is a liberating influence. Uranus can free you from things that have been stable and steady for a long time, but stagnant, okay? Stable and steady can sometimes mean stagnant. And the fixed signs, which are Scorpio and Taurus, that the full moon is in, they can cause us to kind of want things to stay the same for a long time because of security, because of fear, because of comfort. And then Uranus comes in the mix and it's like, nope, you know what? We have to break free of something and make some changes and maybe move forward with something else that can be maybe solid, maybe long-term, because also Saturn is in a mix with this full moon. Saturn is making a trine aspect. It's liberating you from something, so that way there's something else for you that's more fitting and true to you, which Uranus does definitely rule that can be presented, and it's like, oh, and then you could be on a long-term path towards something better. So that's how I see it. That's how I see the full moon in Taurus in general. And it is making a square to the nodes. Okay, the north node, the south node. So definitely look in your chart to see where the other two fixed signs are at, which are Aquarius and Leo, because there could be something very karmic with this full moon too. That's like joining together the past and the present. That can even be past lives and your present life. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the signs really quick, and then I gotta jet out. But I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope the full moon in Taurus brings something good. You know, I hope it's not always like scary. Ooh, and it is. I think it's gonna be huge because the moon is not even all the way full yet, and I saw it in the sky earlier, and it's pretty big. Then usually around this time of year, the full moons are like, ooh, like really huge. So I'm gonna go through the signs. Frangipani Yang. Oh wow. Okay. Let me write your name down, and I will get with you via email this weekend. Or if you have a different name that you booked under, please let me know in the chat, and I'll get with you this weekend. Okay. All right, guys. So now let's go through the signs for the full moon in Taurus. Just a general brief description of. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I will catch up with you this weekend. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, okay, briefly going to go through the signs, you guys. And let's see what this full moon in Taurus is going to do for us. Before I do that, I actually am not going to have time to go through charts of celebrities in detail today. I'm just going to give an honorable mention really quick to let you guys know like a couple of headlines that are tied into this full moon in Taurus as far as I am concerned. So there are two major splits in the celebrity world that have been going on this week. Splits meaning like, you know, people splitting up, couples splitting up. Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson, I did do their synastry on here before, not too long ago. As far as which week it is, you got to go back and look in the history of my playlist, and I should have put it in the title. But they have split up, and now there's talks of like, oh, they could be reconciling. This is definitely Venus retrograde, because Venus retrograde is especially affecting people with planets or ascendants in the signs of Scorpio and Taurus as far as relationships and breakups. Okay, so Ariana, she has Venus in Taurus. So this Venus in Scorpio retrograde is opposing her Venus. Pete Davidson is a Scorpio sun, and he has Venus in Scorpio himself. Okay, so this is a Venus retrograde in his Venus sign and also in the same sign as his sun. And then we have Cassie, the singer Cassie, and P. Diddy. They just announced, or it was just announced, they split up too. Cassie is a Taurus moon, and Diddy is a Scorpio sun. So I think this Venus retrograde is affecting them because of their Scorpio Taurus energy that they have in their charts. So you see, you guys, that's, you know, something that's going on. Also, the full moon in Taurus is between the Taurus and Scorpio axis, and there can be a sudden breaking point or a breakup with, you know, even with the like week or two prior to the date of the full moon. We can see effects like that, okay? Like something just suddenly, we just suddenly break things off. So anyhow, that's, you know, the whole coffee talk thing. Just wanted to mention that's what's going on in the celebrity world that's being affected by this full moon. So now I'll just let you guys know through the signs really fast how it's going to be affecting you. So for Aries people, the full moon in Taurus is affecting your 2nd and 8th houses. So it is financial for you. There could be something that suddenly changes with your income. That could be a job change. That could be letting go of a job. For some, even getting fired from a job. I mean, you guys also have Saturn in your 10th house. But you could get fired or quit or something suddenly. But there could be something way better for you in the long run because of the aspect to Saturn. It's telling you, like, don't worry about it, kid. I've got you. I got something else for you. Okay. So it's something financial for Aries people. No doubt. It could be like breaking free from a partnership that's financial and doing something on your own and establishing that with the help of Saturn. Okay, so that's what it is for Aries. So for Taurus people, this is the full moon in Taurus is between your 1st and 7th houses. That's your relationships. That's you and your relationships. You could be breaking free from a relationship in order to go off and do you. Okay. And the aspect to Saturn is in your 9th house of education, life experiences, traveling. So maybe you just need some more experiences in life and you need to experience them on your own, not with a partner for a little while, and just get back in touch with yourself, your true self. Uranus is about the true self. And Tauruses, you guys are going to be dealing with Uranus, liberating you from a lot of things for the next 8 years. Okay, so this full moon is kind of like, bam, like ushering you into getting used to your life changing drastically over the next 8 years. And you have to get accustomed to it, even though you don't really like change as a Taurus. Okay. So Gemini, the full moon in Taurus is between your 12th and 6th houses. So there's something that you may be emotionally liberated from, or spiritually, like have some new insights come in. There could be something that's secrets coming to light, something that's illuminated, and it's all of a sudden you discover something that was hidden away for a long time. That can mean anything. That can mean something that you hid away, something that was hidden info from you, from others. That can mean you just suddenly, I would pay attention to your dreams, Gemini, around this full moon, because you can have like messages from beyond come through and they really have meaning for you. There could be something that, you know, with your job that, or like your routine, your schedule, everything that you do on a daily basis that you need to take some time away from. And there's something that happens that could be freeing you from being fully committed to that stuff right now, and allow you to step away and just kind of get back in tune with your own self. So this could be a very spiritually awakening full moon for Gemini people. Okay. Could be telling you new ways to relax, new ways to take care of your spirit and your soul, as well as your physical body, maybe trying something new. Some people get rid of addictions very like, okay, I'm just deciding to quit a habit or an addiction around this time. Okay. So that's what it is for Gemini. For Cancer, the full moon in Taurus is between your 11th and 5th houses. So this could be something that you're being liberated from, like stepping away from a group of people, a group of friends. Maybe like you've had the same group of friends for a long time, but you guys don't really vibe anymore. You guys don't really represent the same things anymore. And now all of a sudden there's a situation that can come up that frees you from being associated with these people or with these friends. It could be some outside circumstance, or it could be you. Sometimes when you remain stagnant and Uranus comes along, there's something that he does to just go, woo, lightning bolt up the butt and say, there you go. Now you're free, and you're shocked and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? But then Saturn, I remember there's an aspect from Saturn from your 7th house. Okay. That could be telling you, hey, look, you don't have to trip out. I know this is all of a sudden that happened, but I've got you. Let me hold your hand and walk you and show you what to do going forward for yourself. That could be like a relationship partner or another person that helps you to do that as a Cancer person. Or it could be that you suddenly decide to put out some sort of internet project. That also happens with 11th house transits too. Just keeping it simple. So Leo, if you're a Leo rising, sun, or moon, the full moon in Taurus is happening on the axis of your 10th and 4th houses. This is your career, your public image, your title. This is also affecting your home life. And then there's an aspect from Saturn in your 6th house of work. So some of you guys could be liberating yourself from a title, from a career. Maybe as a result of that, Saturn being in your 6th house, which will be there for like 2 more years from now, is telling you, don't worry about it, Leo. Maybe you got fired, or maybe you got something very suddenly happened with a career that you've had for a long time that you've held on to. But Saturn in the 6th is like, you know what? You can work very hard. This is the house of work, the job. We'll find you a job that's more fitting for you, that's long-term. You may have to start from the bottom and work your way back up. But it'll be more fitting for you, and it'll be more beneficial for you in the long run. So, or it could be you just making that decision like, hey, I just decided that I'm going to switch gears in my career. Just do that you could do it on your own, or the universe will like send a lightning bolt to do it for you. There could be something that changes with your position of authority in life, maybe your position as a parent, if you're a parent. And whatever it happens, it will affect your home life too. Like career and home are the biggest parts of this full moon. So as a result of a career change, maybe you could leave, move somewhere, something like that. Or there could be some kind of family household changes as a result of your career. They could be positive ones though too. So don't trip, Leos. All right, so next up is Virgo. So if you're a Virgo rising, sun or moon, the full moon in Taurus is affecting your 9th and your 3rd houses. So for Virgos, you guys could be liberated from something, and it could be a really huge life experience for you that just really does make you feel free, like that you have more freedom. It could be something that makes you feel like, I want to explore the world more. I don't just want to be caught up in the same day-to-day crap. Okay. I need to get out and explore the world. I need to maybe relocate somewhere. I need to take a sudden trip. Some Virgos can just up and say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to take off today. I'm not a very random person as a Virgo. I like to plan things, but I think I need a little randomness in my life. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys can do that. Some of you guys can suddenly decide to do something as far as your education, if you're pursuing that, or you may decide to pursue it if you haven't already. But I feel like it's just something to do with freedom. Also your beliefs, like something with your beliefs, your opinions, your stance on politics, religion, and all that stuff is also 9th house. So there could be something that you have sudden insight into that changes your mind and changes your perspective. Okay. So that's what it is for Virgos. For Libra, if you're Libra, the full moon in Taurus is happening on the axis of your 8th and 2nd houses. So, this is something financial for you too, Libra, but it can also not just be financial. Maybe some Libras could be suddenly leaving a relationship too. The 8th house is joining souls and joining assets and joining finances with another person. It's what happens after the whole 7th house of dating and then commitment. What happens after that? All the serious stuff, right? That's what's found in the 8th house. So I do see Uranus in the 8th as being a common divorce transit, just being honest, divorce and separation. But it can also be a sudden joining of two souls too. Okay. So Libras will be going through something like that. Maybe you suddenly meet someone that's like a really crazy soul connection, and it's like, whoa, you didn't expect that. Or it could be, yeah, like I said, suddenly you just decided you and somebody you've been with for a long time are just not clicking anymore. You guys are not vibing anymore. You don't have that soul connection anymore. So you suddenly decide to separate. You may have to separate financially from a partnership. It doesn't have to be a romantic one. It could be a business one. You can have this could be a sudden like winning of something too, like sudden earnings of money that's been owed to you somehow, from like a lawsuit or some other resource. And, there's an aspect from Saturn in your 4th house. So it's something that can affect your home life and your sense of comfort and security in the long run, even though it can be a really scary thing at first. It's very transformational and liberating for Libras. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Gypsy Vibes. Thank you so much. It's me actually not having much time. So anyway, yes, Melissa, I've already did Gemini. Next up is Scorpio. So I'm on Scorpio. So go back if you want to look for Gemini. For Aquarius, Blue Benjamin, you'll have to wait. I'll get to Aquarius very soon. So Scorpio people, this full moon in Taurus is in your 7th and 1st houses. 7th house is your relationships. The 1st house where the sun part of it is at is you. So a lot of Scorpios, what did I talk about? Ariana and Pete, he's a Scorpio. She's got Venus in Taurus. He's got Venus in Scorpio. Cassie and Diddy, she's a Taurus moon. He's a Scorpio sun. Breakup city for a lot of, Scorpio and Taurus people, unfortunately. Just being honest, I'm not trying to scare you guys and say everybody's just going to break up and all this sad stuff. No, but it's true. This is the stuff that happens. So for Scorpios, yeah, you can be liberating yourself from a relationship. Some of you guys can be going, just suddenly say, you know what, I'm just going to leave and I have to do something for me, because then Scorpio season is going to continue on. The sun's going to be there. Venus is going to come back around. Mercury's still there. So you're probably thinking a lot about you, Scorpio, like, what can I do to get back in touch with me and, free yourself from a relationship? Or for some of you guys, even though Venus is retrograde and everybody says it's not recommended, yada, 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 you can have a sudden unexpected encounter with somebody romantically. Okay. Whether or not it lasts, it's up to you. It's up to everything else in the universe. I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. If you do have this type of sudden encounter that's like all these sparks flying, but I will tell you, a lot of times with Uranus, it's very short-lived because it is a lot of sparks. Okay. it's sparks, and sparks can fizzle out. But there could be some very exciting developments within a relationship too. Like maybe if you're in one and it's still solid and it lasts past these transits, maybe you're just like, you guys are figuring out how to get that spark back into your relationship to keep it going, okay, for a longer period of time. Because remember, there's an aspect up to Saturn, which is about longevity. So it could be just like, you know what, we've been married for 20 years. We still want to be married, but how can we have more fun in our relationship? So there could be something you guys suddenly have insight into to have that. Okay. So that's for Scorpio. So Sagittarius, the full moon in Taurus is between your 6th and 12th houses. Some Saggies may suddenly leave a job. Some Saggies may suddenly get a job that you didn't expect to get. Maybe you've been applying for jobs and it's been like, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten any calls back. I've done all these interviews, like what's going on? And suddenly, bam, there it is. Bing, Uranus is bringing it. Some of you guys, it could be you suddenly quit, you suddenly get fired, but there's the aspect from Saturn, which is about longevity, and it is in your 2nd house of earned income. So it's like Saturn's like, you know what? I've got you. I'm going to help you to earn long-term wealth, either by this new job or by if you like quit or something or got fired, don't sweat, because I will help you to figure out a plan for the long run. Okay. And don't forget that after this full moon in Taurus, a couple weeks after, Jupiter is going to go into your sign, Sagittarius. So opportunities will be coming to you over the next year for many different things. So if something happens to your job, don't trip out. It'll be all right. Okay. All right. So next up is Capricorn. So if you're a Cappy, the full moon in Taurus is affecting your 5th and 11th houses. This can be you guys suddenly having some fun, suddenly meeting a romantic partner, suddenly having insight into a hobby or something that like makes you happy. You know what? I've always wanted to do this. So you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm tired of my love life being stagnant, which, fixed sign energy can do that. And you know what I'm saying? This is a time where maybe you can suddenly meet someone too, but just remember with Uranus, there's sparks and electricity, but that can short out though. So I wouldn't count on something being like long-term. Hold on. I need to block someone because we don't do this here. Okay. So anyway, it can result in a long-term partnership for Capricorns, but I think it's just like fun, romantic, in the moment stuff that can be brought up with this full moon. There could be a sudden pregnancy because this is 5th house and this is also Uranus. So I would say to be cautious if that's not something you're trying to have happen to you, Capricorn. But it could be like something that's, just suddenly you have insight into what really truly makes you happy. Maybe how to be more romantic or how to have more romance in your life, how to have more fun in your life. This could be a sudden thing to do with like starting up a business. From a talent that you have and saying, you know what, I've been wanting to do this for a long time and this is what I'm going to do. And remember, there's a great aspect to Saturn in your sign. So you're building yourself. Okay. So if you cut someone off, Suddenly, don't worry, because Saturn has your back and will help you to figure out where to go from here in the future. Next up is Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius rising, Aquarius sun, or Aquarius moon, the full moon in Taurus is affecting your 4th and 10th houses. I have a couple of besties that are Aquarius risings, and they've already been letting me know that they've been getting sudden insights building up to this full moon in their 4th house of, you know what, I want to relocate, I want to move. Can you look at my relocation astrology? Or one of them is an astrologer, and she's like, I've been looking at my relocation astrology and my astrocartography to see where's my next move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to move somewhere to where the money is good and this is good and that's good. So some other Aquarians out there, you guys may be suddenly moving or getting insight into, you know what, I just feel like this is not home for me and I need to figure out where home really is. So that's mostly what it is for you. And there could be some career stuff in the mix too as a result. Maybe you guys are trying to advance in your career somehow, you know, especially with Jupiter up there. Jupiter is about to leave. Usually Jupiter leaves some sort of a blessing to you before he leaves a sign or a house. So maybe you got some career thing in the works, and as a result, you'll be able to move. Or maybe you're going to move, and as a result, you'll find a really great career. So that's what it is for Aquarius people. It's matters of home. There could be sudden, on the day of the full moon, because full moons are very intense and emotional, there could be like a sudden, like, oh my gosh, you know, like a fight with family or something like that leads you to a decision. Just try to keep that under control if you can. But it is something regarding your family, your home life. Could be some career stuff as well. So good luck to you guys. And last is Pisces. So if you're a Pisces, the full moon in Taurus is affecting your 3rd and your 9th houses. Full moons in the 3rd house are really not the most major areas of life to be like, oh my God, major stuff. But 3rd house, a full moon there, I would say for Pisces people, definitely be careful driving. I have seen full moons in the 3rd house, and then also Uranus is involved, which can be sudden impact, sudden something happening. Be careful driving, Pisces people, okay? Be careful driving. But this can mean that suddenly you, maybe not as a result of something scary or bad, but maybe you do all of a sudden decide, hey, I need to get a new vehicle. Or maybe your vehicle does just blow out on you. And you're like, you know what? Now it's time for me to get a new car. I'm scared. I've had this car forever, but maybe it is time for something new. Maybe it's time for something new with the places that you go hang out, because the 3rd house is the neighborhood. I call that the hood. You know what I mean? The 3rd house is your little bubble where everybody knows your name, like that show Cheers, the places you go all the time. Maybe it's time to change. Like, you know what? I'm going to start hanging out in this other area. I'm going to start hanging out with some different people. I'm going to start communicating differently, like join an online group or team or something to meet new and exciting people and have more experiences, because on the opposite end is the sun in your 9th house. Okay. And 9th house is about big life experiences, you know, that really broaden your mind. So the full moon in the 3rd can bring something to you also, like sudden insights into something that you want to start learning, like a skill. And you guys know my moon sign is Pisces. And I used to be a dancer. I'm talking about actually dance, like hip hop dance movement, not like, you know, some other women that say they're a dancer, but that's not what they do. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a real dancer, and I just met with some of my old dancer friends not too long ago, and they said, you know what? I want to start dancing. They said, why don't you get back into dancing? And I'm like, it's been a long time. I don't know. And they're like, well, we'll teach you, we'll train you, like come through. And so the 3rd house is like a skill. So it's like, hey, all of a sudden I'm getting that little lightning bolt that's telling me I want to start dancing again. And Miriam, you are so spot on, because I listened to that song. She's talking about Finesse by Bruno Mars and Cardi B. I listened to that song the other night after I saw those friends, and I was dancing in my car, and I'm like, those are dances on that video that I used to do. Just like that, the 90s style, right? So I have been listening to that song and thinking like, oh my God, if I start dancing with my friends again, maybe I can like start doing that stuff, you know, like the old school stuff again. So that's a little Pisces insight, you know, fellow Pisces. Maybe you can start doing a skill, learning a new skill that you like, you know, and it could be something fun, exciting, you know, something different. But anyway, you guys, I've got a jet. I'm getting a phone call to go pick someone up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was very just short and brief this time around. It was either this or I do it like at 1 o'clock in the morning. So here I am, you know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys still gain some information about the full moon in Taurus. I know I told you guys I was going to show you my Taurus cup too, but I didn't have time to make my tea, my coffee today. But I love you guys. Have a great week. Best of luck to you with this full moon. Don't be afraid of change. Just embrace it and accept it. And remember that if it's something sudden, it could have been necessary. Uranus transits tend to kick you out of the old and into something new for a reason. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, guys, well, take care. And I shall see you guys next week. Love you. Peace.